Hello, guys. Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Hopefully, everybody is having a great Tuesday. Another great day, guys. Another great day in the community. Our game plan was on fire. Our top plays were on fire. So we will discuss that. We didn't really need to do much. Our 2 or 3 plays which were on fire. So we'll recap all those. Before we start the recap, let's do a quick introduction to anybody who's new to my YouTube, new to our Twitter accounts, new to our community, or just new to me, right? So guys, these recaps, these teachings, everything I share is from any trade ideas, any day trades, any swings, investment ideas that I discuss with you either on our Twitter accounts, on my YouTube previous videos, or mostly in community. So if you do not know, if you're new to our channel, we trade a repeatable system. We trade a repeatable system called Ripster EMA Clouds System that thousands of traders across the world use. You can Google Ripster Cloud System. You can Google Ripster MTF Cloud System. You'll get a lot of answers. So we trade a repeatable system. We trade repeatable setup. System is how you trade. Setup is what you trade. We do not press the button if we cannot repeat it. It's like, something that happens again and again and again. Only when something triggers is when we trade. That's how you make it successful in stock market when you trade the repeatable systems. Anyways, in the pre-market, we have our pre-market game plan, which me and my team, we create it. I created this plan half an hour before the market open. We have the news plays. As you see, we have earning plays, earning season. So there's a lot of earning season which are going on right now. We have a bunch of earning plays. And then we have our index stocks like Tesla. We have those plays. And, of course, we trade SPY as well using the same concepts that I teach you guys every day in day out. That's our initial plan. I share a support level, resistance level, and then our initial bias. Based upon this game plan, we take it rest of the day. So we look at our plays, and I will show you what was the pre-market planning, what was the pre-market bias, and how did we trade that. So we'll cover all that. But we also share levels for the index ETFs or the Mag 7 most liquid names. Traders can use these levels to trade SPY, QQQ, or Apple, Microsoft, and use the Ripster EMA Cloud to just trade them. Those levels are key. You can pause the screen and just see how those levels worked out. On a trend day, they work out pretty nicely. We also have crypto stocks. We provide this watch list in the pre-market. You can trade crypto. If crypto is running, you can trade coin, MSTR, CLSK, Bitcoin, all those names. Then we also trade futures in the community using our same system and same concepts that we can trade the futures as well. In addition, we also have low floats that our senior traders created this watch list for the low floats. Today there was a pretty good WRD was pretty good. We had another play which was a low float, went crazy today, Pony, which we will discuss as well. I'm on the voice first few hours of the market open. I'm on the voice guiding the traders. Once I share this game plan with everyone, then we are ready for the market open. We have repeatable concepts like 10 a.m. Morning amateur concept, trend concept, 10 a.m. concept, VIX concept. So I'm on the voice and guiding the traders through the market. Any trade ideas that I like or I'm trading, even if I'm not trading, I still guide my traders in the community so that we can trade those. And I will show you my timestamp guidance as well. We have thousands of traders in the community on our trading floor all day sharing trade ideas and opportunities so that we can make our daily bread in the stock market. We have a lot of free tools when anybody joins our community. You do not really need to use you're supposed to cancel all your other subscriptions because we provide 3 option flow scanners. We provide stock scanners. We provide breaking news alerts, 2 news squawks. We have halt, unhalt service. We also have a book map service where you can look at the book maps. Then we also, have support resistance alerts. So a bunch of the tools, we provide are like $500-600 a month, which are free in the community. So anybody who joins. So that's the introduction. Let's start with the recap. I'll show you my timestamp guidance and I'll show you what was the plan, what was my live guidance, and how we traded in the community. And hopefully you guys learn something from this recap and you can implement yourself. Let's start. All right, so let's start with the first trade of the day. Let's start with HIMS. I wanted to start with PLTR, but let's start with HIMS because that was more fun all day. So let's look at HIMS, right? So what was the plan on HIMS? Before I show you what HIMS did today, great company, great investment stock, really good stock. I like it as a long-term play as well. HIMS is one of our focus list. Reddit, Kava, all these names are one of our focus lists that we like. So let's see what HIMS was doing today. Okay, so let's go to the game plan first quickly. So HIMS beats revenues, beats on EPS, support 3850, resistance 3950.40. Bearish to neutral bias, short under MTF and long over that. So what does that mean? So in the pre-market, when you look at HIMS was trading under the MTF clouds. So the plan was if it pushed over these clouds, we are bullish, right? So you have to get long right away. No questions asked, and that's what we always do it. And as soon as I saw that HIMS was pushing over that, I told the traders it's an MTF long. A lot of the traders were already long on HIMS because it's our system had triggered it long. And I told the traders that over the 43, it's going to break out, right? So over 43, it is going to break out. So I gave the target, I gave the target of 46. That was my first target that I gave on HIMS. Let me see if I can show you the breakout alert. Yeah, so you see this alert going right here. That was a 40, 30, 19. And it was a breakout this pre-market, this yesterday high. So this was the breakout, right? So look carefully. This was very important, which came in handy later in the day, because it was this area was let me see if I can show you nicely here. So this area was the breakout, which was a breakout, and later it became a support. All right, so anyways, so this was a pretty fast trade in the morning. I told the traders to long it. You can also add versus 40 is your risk, and the 46 first target. I did tweet this out as well. The first thing I tweeted was HIM long. And so I was just going to show you guys that the confidence in these setups, even if you saw that tweet that I tweeted in the morning, even if the traders outside the community, that we were we were short on PLTR, which we'll discuss, but I was long on HIMS. So you can see that I even tweeted it out that we are long on HIMS long this morning, right? So you can see that 936, what I tweeted was that HIMS is long this morning. So that was our long HIMS. So first 6 our first target, second target was 48, and you see that I gave the second target, and by the time we did hit our 48 target as well. 48.30, we hit 48.30, and when it pulled back, so this was the yesterday highs. Previous support, previous resistance becomes a new support. So this is your pullback level to add. I did tell the trader pullback adds, risk is 4170. Initially your risk is right, so somewhere here 4170. Pullback adds, your risk is right on the 512s, and then resistance was 46, stops were 44.30. So you long here, take your profits, long back here, do not hesitate, pullback adds, and then I gave the target of 46, 47 right here. So then I gave the target, and then it kind of broke down here. So that was kind of time to exit, or you can look at this candle or wait. And then it reclaimed, right? So the stops I gave was 45.35. It's somewhere here I gave the sports, but these stops were hitting. So you can get out, but right away it reclaimed from the cloud, and that becomes another long with your stops back at 45.50. Even if you got out, so first long, second long, if you hold, that's fine, because you want to watch what the next candle does. You see this, none of the candles really closed under it, and you can also get back in because it was a setup. It's called the cloud reclaim mid of the day. Now when it reclaimed the cloud, then again I gave the target of high of the day, and then I told the traders that once we break high of the day, the next target will be 50, right? So we go from here. So we go back to high of the day. Remember, I gave the target right here as high of the day. So we hit high of the day, right? And then Then I gave the 50 target. And we hit 50 target as well, right? So starting, even if you got 42s, by end of the day, you know, in and out, you easily made $8 per share on this, right? Even if you were trading options today, you could literally, you know, make good profits on the let's look at 45 calls. You see the 45 calls went from $1 to like, you know, $5 there, 300-400%. And even if you traded it later, you know, the MTF bounce, or you know, you could trade 50 call for 50 lotos, or you know, 47 lotos. So even those later in the day went from 240 to $5, right? So essentially, even if you were trading with $1,000 in and out, you could easily make 3-4 grand on HIMS trade today. Of course, it's always good with the shares. That's what I prefer. But even for the small account, this was a great trade. You can see the complete timestamped guidance. You can see the pre-market planning on HIMS, short under MTF, long over it, no BS, everything defined, pre-market, and also the live guidance. I tweeted about it as well, showing you the power, the strength of the system. Nowhere we were looking to short it. We were only looking to long. We just have to find a good entry. So there was a long at the open, long here, 3 longs there. Beautiful, beautiful HIMS trade. All right, so that was HIMS, right? So that was our HIMS trade. So let's look at the next one, PLTR. So PLTR, so this is where a very important concept I'm going to teach you, where we talk about amateur and trend move, right? So let's see what was happening on PLTR. So PLTR, you see this is a pre-market low. So if we look here on PLTR, the plan was only long if 114 holds, bearish to neutral bias. So 114 was right here. We were only supposed to long over it. As soon as I saw the weakness, I hit a short on PLTR. I told the traders to short it. It's pretty clean setup. You short it right away, buy the puts, whatever. It tried just to swipe back up. When it was swiping it back up, I got out of my position because I was not sure that is it going to hold 112. You see that I told the traders to short, but then it started to swipe up. I said close it because I was not sure. Maybe it holds the 112 and pull back up. But the next candle told me no. Right away it flushed under 112 again. And that's where we re-hit short again. That's where I told the traders re-hit the short. And you could trade anyhow you want, right? So some traders traded even better than me. They waited for the right point and they hit it right at the good entry, right? So I have to guide the traders and make sure the new traders understand what we are doing. Also make sure they don't get squeezed if they go the other way. But the system is pretty clean. System exactly tells us that once we see 3450 reject, that's when you have to short it, and pre-market low break confirms the short, and reject short confirms the short, you fade it all the way down, right? So you see that I said reshort, there we go. You know, cover $3. So we covered $3. I told any pops to 112, short again. So I told the traders any pop to 112, short again. But too bad it didn't really pop to 112 again. You know, it popped to maybe 110. That's it. There was a lot of put flow coming in. And I also mentioned there's 100 puts which were at $1.22. I mentioned that to the traders. That ended up going over $1.90, right? You know, I don't really recommend that for new traders. You need to either short the shares or, you know, stay close in the money. And then 106 was the first target. 105 was my final target. We did meet our 106 target, but I was short on my 104 target. And after that, it started to bounce. I did tell the traders that cover most because we might bounce into the 512s. It did bounce, then gave another short middle of the day. And after that, went into the chop. You know, you trade the LTF, you trade the leverage ETFs, PLTD is pretty good. You know, you could trade that. When PLTR goes down, PLTD goes up. You could easily make 60-70 cents there, risking 15-20 cents. Same kind of risk reward. You know, even if you have 5,000 shares, you risk $1,000, you could make you know, $3,000, you know, like that. Same for the options. Options were actually really good. If you look at PLTR puts, which were pretty good, you know, the 105 puts, we can look at those. 105 puts ran from you know, let's see here, from $2 all the way to $3. Not completely 100%, but there was a decent move. But you have to be fast on these trades, right? So anyways, so that was PLTR, clean setup, and the best entry was the pop. And the short was, the profit was from 112 all the way to 105, $7 per share short. That was our main trade on PLTR. Beautiful winner in the community. All right, so let's talk about now. We're going to talk about Pony. So what's happening with Pony? Okay, so Pony was on our game plan here. Let's look here. Pony was on our game plan. Pony was, it had a Uber. It had a partnership with Uber. There's another stock which had a partnership with Uber. I can cover that as well. But let's talk about Pony. So you see the Pony at a support of 10, resistance of 11. I told the traders long if 10, 30, 10 pullbacks hold. So I told the traders that if 10 pullback holds, you buy it, you long it. And the breakout is 11, 20, 12, 1 hour breakout. You see carefully, I gave those breakouts in the pre-market as well. I didn't wait for the market open to give those breakouts to the traders. So let me show you that breakout, right? So what was that low float breakout? Because you need to know how the low floats work. I have a webinar in my community. I have a low float watch list. I have low float repeatable setups. You need to really watch it. Go to ripstereducation.com, watch that. So if you see carefully that what I, let me see if I can show you here. So if you see that we had this Pony, right? So I tweeted, of course, and my live guidance, my dedicated guidance is the community, but I still try to help my followers out as well. So you see 1 hour setup. This was the breakout. Downtrend line and this resistance. So this was the breakout. And the ads was here on the 10 pullback. So I was busy with other trades, but you see that it gave the 10 pullback, gave the entry here, gave the curl entry here, 10.40. You could risk 40 cents. And so that was Pony, and it was a 34.50 curl long. And traders told me in the community that they told me I was a little late, but I risked 60, 70 cents, and I added that with all the traders in the community on the Pony. And you see everybody was on top of Pony today in there. So if so let's see here. If I want to show you there, let's see here. So what I was trying to show you on Pony was. So I already showed you this setup, right? So this is the setup, low float setup, breakout setup. You need to know these setups. This is the 1 hour chart. You need to know your breakout patterns, and look what happened there, right? So once it starts to push over, let's see if I can show you the look here. You see that, the breakout? You see that I mentioned 11, 20, 12, 1 hour breakout, pre-market planning. With this knowledge, amount of money you can make in the market is immense. But again, you need to know these setups, because this one winner will be huge winner. Literally, couple thousand shares, you were already done 6-7 grand by end of the day because of these breakout setups. Defined risk. All that matters is defined risk. And Pony gave you that defined risk. It's a low float. It can run. And that's why I try to teach you guys. I show no hindsight with me. I show you actual before, and then after, right? So and it's nothing new. I've been sharing these ideas, 1,000 ideas on Twitter X for so long, right? That's how lives have been changed. So anyways, there was my complete guidance in the community on Pony. I told the traders to long Pony as well. First target I gave 13, next target I gave 15. As it started to move up, we started to sell the position and started to move our stops up. We sold some at 14, and our final target was 15. Here's more timestamped guidance. We had a flag as well. There was a flag here. You can see the flag here. So there was a flag here. You need to draw your flags on your low float setups, right? So you see that. We were short of our 15 target, and we put our final stops at 1370. And once you close, if you can't trade after hours, you have to close it at end of the day. Otherwise, you can close it after hours as well. But you see the Pony trade, even if you were a little late, you risk, let's say 60 cents, 11, you made $3. You risked $900, but you made $3 grand. And that's the power of these low float setups, which are amazing. And another one was WRD, which was not my trade, but it was the same. It was from our low float watch list. Uber expands the partnership. The float was a little higher, 212 million, but still, fine for that price stock. It was an A+ setup in our low float. You see, we marked them as a rating. So our A+ setup on the low floats, this is where you long. or you long here. Similarly, when we were long Pony, WRD was going as well. But I liked Pony with more volume, and you could trade same kind of breakout, better chart though on Pony, and we took it all the way to MTF clouds, right? So beautiful winners, low floats, Pony, WRD. Imagine the opportunities the market provides you, but and there's a reason I make them red. I make Pony red, I make PLTR red, HIMS red, right? So these top plays, I always put them on the top, so that you can make, losers stay small and the winners stay big. Right, we have losers all the time, but we make sure our winners are much, much bigger than the losers. All right. So anyways, those were our low floaters, beautiful trades in the community, something different today. I don't always trade low floats, but I love when something like Pony comes along. All right, so next one we're going to look at CEG. CEG is also another great company, very strong company, very, very, CEG is a good investment stock. We will cover more of this when we launch our Tenet Research website. We will cover those things there. So anyways, so let's see here. So let's see there on the PL on that CEG. So here you go, CEG, long over 1 hour MTF, short under it, no go under 238. So CEG 1 hour MTF clouds. So you see that 1 hour MTF clouds turned bullish, and CEG, it became a long right away. But when it starts to pull right away, your risk is a little wider. You're adding at 257. Your risk is right under this candle 252. You have a $5 risk. But then it runs $20 too, right? So anyways, I was a little late on that. I did tell traders relative strength on the long, and I told them there's a flag breakout setup. I gave them at 10 a.m. as well. This was the flag on CEG. I mentioned the flag on CEG. I mentioned the flag. You could long here, put your stops under here or lower, and then I gave the 279 target, and we did hit our 279 target by end of the day, right? So CEG was another one great trade, and you can see that it's pre-market planning, and once I told the trader it's gonna go, it hit the target, right? So you can see that flag break, next flag, beautiful. All right, so next one we're going to look at CLX. So CLX, we were shorting it, but here's the gain. You see the amateur move is red, but the trend move is bullish. So you try to short it here on the pops, and we took a stop, we took a loss here. Right. So this is important to know. Some of the amateur, compare it with PLTR, and you will understand what is what, right? So PLTR never really bounced back that much, but this one kind of made a big move on the first candle, 40% of the ATR. Always look how much the move it's making the first candle, and after that, once you see this big swipe up, this is a little problem for us. That tells us it's probably gonna bounce there, and sometimes, and then you try to short it, doesn't work, get out. So anyways, this was a loser trade in the community today. All right, let's look at DoorDash. Again, DoorDash, there was so much happening today, but DoorDash was a short right at the open. Let's look at the game plan here. So DoorDash was bearish bias to short the pops, 200 big level, right? 200 big level. Anything under 200 is a big level. Now the problem with the DoorDash was there was an MTF here, there was an MTF here. So many MTFs, MTF. So you short it right out of the gate, bearish bias, then you cover some here, then we hit a bear flag. You see this bear flag? There was a 10 AM bear flag. Now it hit the other MTF clouds. So this is your target, right? If you're shorting 192, you cover here. If you're shorting 188, you cover here. You know that DoorDash has MTFs. So you have to cover or leave a little position, and once it starts to bounce, reclaim of the MTF, that's a problem. You get out or be ready to get out, because if you wait here, you will lose a lot of your profit. But the key to understand is short is here, short is here. There's no short here, because we are, from 193, we have $8 fade, right? So you have to watch these MTF clouds, make sure you set them up, watch the video on how to set them up. Invest in TradingView. All right. So VRTX, another short in the community, beautiful trade, all day fader on VRTX. So let's go back to the earning setups. Let's look here. So the earning setup we are going to look at VRTX is right here. Under all MTFs, cautious 512 call, no go under 473. So when I saw that, it is super heavy. I did tell the trader it's a short. You see this swipe back up, you short right here on this 40, this bounce, or you short here. Wherever you want to short, your stops are right over the 512s. You find your stops and you put your stops there. And at 9:50, at 10 a.m., it broke a bear flag down. You see right here, it broke the bear flag down, flushed again, bouncing, no problem. Then it rejected the 512s again. You know, my target was 435s, and by 11:30, you know, we rejected again, and then it hit it. By the time then 12:20, it hit 435s, and it hit even 430. Even at the, you know, even when our earlier short, even at 746, when 946, when I'm talking about it, it still faded for us from 445s to 430, 235s. And then there was another short here, another bear flag middle of the day, right? So how you trade is you short the shares, you know, even if you short 100 shares, you made $600-700 here. Short 100 shares again, you know, you make $400-500 again, risking a couple $100 again, depending on your account size, right? You can bigger size, you can ship. But these bigger stocks, you don't go big size even if you have bigger account, because there's a spread, there's illiquidity problem. You cannot have big sizes in those. Remember that. All right, so next one we're going to look at is Upwork. Upwork was another one from our earning plays. Going to wrap up this pretty quick now. Most of other earning plays were from the game plan. Let's see here. Upwork was gap and crap under 1450, long over it, right? Gap and crap under 1450, long over it. So many plays, you know, they move at the open, but if you follow the game plan, you see 1450 held, gave you the long breakout, and then it ran all day. I mean, simple earning setup, guys. Simple earning setup. Just because this is for the traders and community, I'm not watching it at the open doesn't mean you should miss it, because once this held, becomes amazing long, right? So there were some other plays in the community as well. Let's look at FRPT. FRPT was a day two mover. It's a day two repeatable concept. FRPT, amazing run yesterday. That pushed from the 3450 bounce. So that was okay. And let's look at some other names here. So definitely we had some more names as well. Earning plays, ARMK ran all day. We had LDOS that ran all day from MTF. Look at the power of this MTF clouds, guys. Look at the power of the MTF clouds, right? So these were the earning plays. Even if you're not trading these names, it's important to know, so next time you know that, right? So I did put red on the Upwork. You can pause the screen and see how other traders, other movers moved. You can look at ARMK, you know, once it pushed over the MTF, it pushed nicely. You can look at LDOS. There was no volume trade versus the MTF, and that's why I ignored it, because it didn't really have any volume in the pre-market, but during the market it really ran up crazy on the volume, 148 to 154. So you can see the power of these moves, and these names are just so good.